Hello everyone, and welcome. I am your Madam President of the Artigan, Natale, teaching you energy mastery through tarot, astrology, psychokinesis, and other psychic abilities. Welcome and welcome to your weekly psychic astrology with me. So, I hope you guys like this new setup. I am experimenting with something new and different. And I am also underlining my top lip, underlining my lips. This is another experiment. Let's hope this is okay with Venus about to station retrograde. But honestly, I like to overdraw my lips because I have a shorter upper lip. And yes, it was very cool in the 1930s, but I just feel like it makes me very like pouty, sad, like Cancer rising, like, oh, so that's why. So hopefully we're experimenting a lot today. So welcome to this week. This is going to cover your horoscope from December 13th to, oh, no, I have to turn my head. I hope my hair looks okay because my calendar's right there to December 20th, 2021. Hey, Sarah, welcome. I know, my Christmas tree. Oh, okay. Okay, guys, I did a lot of writing. There's like 6 pages that I wrote, and I'm also doing the weekly horoscope sign by sign breakdown over on my Patreon. So that's why it's like also like I feel like I'm running so behind, but let's just like let's do it. Okay. How are you guys feeling? How was let's start there. Let's start with the weekend. So, as I told you guys last week that it was going to be the beginning of last week and the end of last week that were like the big, you know, and I have my favorite Venus Pluto story I've ever heard. So I was talking to my cousin, and guess what happened to her? Sorry, guess what happened to her on the Venus Pluto conjunction on Friday. So she actually saw 2 dead bodies. I told her, I said, that's the most Venus Pluto thing like I've ever heard in my life. So she saw 2 dead bodies, and when you I don't know if it was her first one, actually. I should have asked her that. But when you see it's like, you see your first one, maybe it's like a big thing, or maybe it's not. And then you just, anyway, she's a mom. So she had like these, flashes of her children there. So very, very Venus Pluto. That was on Friday. But basically, Friday, what that was, I have it written down way more organized, or so I thought. But basically, that was the end of an old control system. That was the end of a power system that Friday. Yes, Friday the 7th. Sorry, that's next Friday. Why did I write it down? Sorry, now I have 6 pages of my typing channeling. I channel really well when I'm typing stuff, so I'm a writer. Anyways, blast. Mother of Pearl. All right, well, that's what it was. That was the end of a powerful control system that was set up to have power over you. There was something that you were giving your own personal power away to that was ending on Friday. That ended Friday. And then we have the Sun squared Neptune Saturday, Sunday. So you were likely just like pulling apart, breaking apart old ideas, old beliefs. I'm titling this week Think Again because it's just not what you thought it was. Something is just not what you think it is. And it's just having to undo all of the programming that you bought into to think a certain way, to believe a certain thing about yourself, about men, about women, about relationships, about life, about people. Like, let's undo all of. Hey guys, welcome! Yay! Hey everybody! Yay! The gang, the group is here. Okay, so I do want to start talking a little bit about America, and I know that that's like a very triggery topic, but I'm the occultist, and so my perspective is always going to be the very highest level. It's always going to be, and that's what I want to kind of train you guys into how to think, is to really pull all the way back to the widest view. I wore this yesterday, so I mean, you guys don't know that, but I just told you. It was just easy. And so the widest perspective is going to be what gives you the most advantage in your life and situations. Okay. So, and that's because I'm going to talk about Pluto, because America's going through her Pluto return. Oh goodness. Mother of pearl. America is unique and special because it was a strong, powerful manifestation of the idea that an individual could be free to create their own destiny. Okay. That was the beginning of it. In 1776, it was just starting. Like this whole idea that a soul could be free to do what it wants, that it would have free will to create its own life, have its own perspective, that it wasn't just everyone takes the king's perspective, everyone takes the queen's perspective, okay? That all men are created equal. And, you know, implementing these spiritual truths. That's a spirituality. Believing everyone's created equal, everyone deserves a vote, everyone gets a fair shake in life, everyone should start at the beginning, everyone. That's spirituality right there. I know it's idealism, but it's spirituality because it's emotionally charged. Um, that that we implemented in government, like we created this whole thing around it, like a physical manifestation of that spiritual belief. And that, clearly it was just the beginning. Obviously, it was deeply flawed with horrible foundations and at the expense of the freedoms and rights of so many other marginalized individuals. So it was very hypocritical the way it's like, everybody's free. And then, like, we're going to just step on all these people. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I acknowledge that. I hold space for that. There was ego there. It was just the beginning. And so it's like the ego was there. There was ego, there was control. So it brought revolution of one kind, but it was an incomplete revolution. So there was some of the spirituality driving this, but it was incomplete because there was still so much abuse to like so many other people. So that it was not really fair to everybody, but it was a start. And it was the start of a nation. Okay, that's like a big deal. Declaration of Independence. So now at America's Pluto return. See, there's things happening right now that we're gonna kind of flash back to in February of 2022. That's why I'm talking that. You guys, I've been talking about December 2021 since like January 2021. So you guys know that I give you like the heads up. I'm also gonna do a 2022 video on my Patreon. I'm gonna take y'all through the whole dang year. Okay. So that's coming too. We're ready for the other like bookend of the revolution of consciousness is what I'm like, I guess I've been calling it. This is going to be a reset, a rebirth of all power. Mother of pearl, sorry. A rebirth of all power and control starting next year. So in America. So that does mean that everything has like more things since odd 8, tearing down all of that corruption, tearing down all of that inequality, tearing down all of that BS. Okay, all of that poppycock, like all of that, just like it has to be purged and it has to be expelled before we can do the new. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, let's bring it back down to you. So after you decide what your spirituality is going to be, and you guys heard me talk about that before, after you decide what your spirituality is going to be in the role that you're going to play in your own life and the future, that determines our reality as Americans. And I know I speak very American centric because I'm an American. Guys, I'm so American. Did I tell you? I don't know where I told this story, but I talked about me going to Germany. Real quick, this is how like American I am. And like in Germany, you go to the movies and they had seating, assigned seating, like at the ticket taker. And I was like, okay. And I ignored it, of course, because I'm freaking American. I go into the movie theater and everyone's clustered in this, like the center. And that just like I was so into social distancing and like washing my hands a lot and like personal space way before COVID. So I just didn't listen. I sat wherever I wanted. And like when I did that, everyone can tell that I was doing that because everyone was clustered together at the same time. All those Germans, their heads turned at the same time to look at me. And I just felt this oppressive, like the conformity to fit in. And that's something that the DNA generationally, like other countries have that because they are in this like genetic lineage, but Americans don't have that. We don't have that because we don't all come from the same, like, genetic lineage, the same epigenetic memory source. We all have different traumas from different cultures all together. Oh my God, and that's the beauty, is that we're all individuals. And so that's part of the reason why it's really hard for Americans to like really all agree on something or do one thing together, whereas other countries can. So like I totally felt like, oh my God, like I was really embarrassed, like, but like no one had to say anything. There wasn't a guard that like came up and picked me up on the arms, like, they didn't have to. I just felt this energy of like I need to like conform. I mean, I'm an American, I'm super American, I'm just like, so I didn't. Like I was like, no, I want my space. Like I need space and I just need to be like you know what I'm saying? So like I didn't. And then they turned their little heads back and we all watched a movie together. But it's just like that's not a very flattering story, but it's the truth. So anyway, who are you going to be in your life? Because this week leads up to the full moon on Saturday at 27 degrees of Gemini. And it opposes the sun in Sagittarius, you guys, at 27 degrees. This is the galactic center. Okay, 27 degrees Sag is the galactic center. It's this big black hole. If you just Google galactic center, you will read so much about what it means for us as far as elevating our consciousness and everything. So it's kind of like a big deal. It's kind of a huge deal. But I'll talk about that more. I think I will live stream on Friday because I like to have my weekends off. But Mercury in Capricorn. Oh, I'll get there. But Mercury in Capricorn will square Chiron and Aries before it stations direct. This is a climax that brings a lot of change, a lot of big change. So your feelings and your responses to your feelings and how they change your beliefs determines your spirituality. Your spirituality determines your reality. So this week, your feelings and your thoughts will determine the story of your life and the quality of those feelings and thoughts. So don't be like, oh, that person's making me feel this way. No, you're choosing to give attention to whatever the people and things and situations are to create a feeling in you that you want to feel. So if you don't want to feel angry, like don't watch the news. Like I follow this TikTok under the desk news and she's got this cool like hair. It's like there's ways of learning about what's happening without the emotional, but if someone wants to be angry, if someone wants to feel mad, they will find that experience. They will find the situations and the people that give them that experience of being mad. Okay. Where was I? Oh, keep it narrow. You can keep your perspective narrow, or you can open it up. And this is really what's going to set people apart next year. Is that we're all kind of deciding what 2020 was and like what life is and what like all that. And then it can kind of harden and there's gonna be like new earth, there's gonna be us spiritually evolved people kind of like flying above the fray, enjoying manifesting, enjoying abundance, enjoying peace, enjoying love. That is our birthright. Inner peace and love is our birthright. And we're going to be there and we're going to be living on the same planet as other people that want to be miserable, that want to be angry, that want to fight, that want to work out karma on a lower level. Because all these things are happening, all these transits that me and the astrologers on here talk about, it only affects you like at your level. So like this Venus retro, like Venus Pluto, if you're a teenager, that's going to have a different effect on you as if you're like in your 80s. That Venus Pluto is going to be different for you, whether you've been divorced 4 times or if you're engaged and about to get married. So it's like your point of reference, your point of consciousness determines what you're going to use of all of this, how much you're going to use out of this. So, okay, where was I again? This determines your world. Okay, goodness gracious, mother of pearl. This is a season of flexibility, mutability, opening up to options we would have never considered in a million years. Think again. Think again. Don't overthink. Think again. Okay. Expanding our horizons, keeping everything on the table, taking a hard look at the road less traveled. Your world will expand as wide as you can open your mind to perceive it. This determines your reality. What your mind is able to perceive is determined by how you choose you want to feel. That's your spirituality. It's how big your world is. The full moon Saturday says you're behind something. The full moon Saturday says you're behind a belief, a spirituality, or you're not. Like you're feeling it or you're not feeling it. Honestly, listen, follow your heart. I tried to post on Instagram, but like I recorded so much this weekend that I forgot to dump all of that into my hard drive. It's like, so there's like no room on my phone right now. But anywho's for pictures. Um, the vibe that I'm getting when I tune into this week and this full moon is this Sagittarius energy actually. And so the sun's going to be like at the galactic center, 27 degrees Sag, and then that full moon is going to reflect the light of the sun back. So full moon, it's always like secrets come out, let's talk about it, let's share our feelings, let's like be emotional, that's a peak experience. So what I'm getting is actually the solar part of this. I'm getting this old rock star storyteller energy where it's like around the campfire, like someone that's lived a lot, like someone that's had this ain't their first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of, and they're telling their story to you. It's kind of, or like Pai Mei, and Kill Bill, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of a lineage. So our feelings get involved in choosing the story we're going to live and the role we play in our unfolding story. When you hear someone by the campfire telling you a story, don't you automatically put yourself in the hero's position and feel what the hero feels? Yeah. We are stepping into the point of view that we need to live who we came here to experience. So it's like you're putting yourself in that perspective. So you're not like quite there yet. And it's okay if you're like, well, until like the full moon or until this upcoming weekend, that's fine. Because you're still feeling what you're feeling. And a really big part of this is to understand the feelings from that outside perspective, so you can still give yourself the justice and everything that you need and reparent yourself. But you need to be able to call it out what it is and be honest with yourself about what it is. So this is like shifting into the point of view that you need in order to live who you came here to be, in order to step into the role that you're born to play. Like in that one movie when he's like, you're the star. Why are you acting like the best friend? You're the main character. Why are you acting like the best friend? Kind of an energy. February 2nd, 2022 is when Pluto hits 27 degrees of Capricorn. This is a semi-sextile to what's going on this weekend. So it's like these big changes are going to be happening on the world stage, and all you need to worry about is who you are and who you're going to be, because every single individual is changing the nature of reality because you're changing your nature of reality. So, okay. The second best thing you can do is raise amazing children, because we're all here together. Even the people that go to space and come back, that's the point, is that we're all on Earth together and we all have to live together. If there are groups of people you don't like right now, like just in the world or on the planet, whatever, they are the byproduct of generations of families that raise them to think and believe and feel and act that way. So had some major revelations about, there's going to be children's programs coming out in 2022 for the little babies. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's talk about the week now. Okay, so the moon's going to be in Aries Sunday to Tuesday. The moon is going to come up against that Capricorn energy too. It's going to hit Chiron. It's going to do stuff, right? So this is about the ego. We will need to be reprogramming our ego needs and ego wants. Like there's no way that the moon's ever going to come up against Pluto and not be transformed. So Sunday to Tuesday, that's another thing I'm going to tell you. So the ego, I said this on my Artegan Daily Bulletin. That's over on Patreon. It's the lowest tier. The ego actually is a self-preservation mechanism. It's trying to protect you. It dies with the body, though. That's like a human instinct thing. That's not who you are. The ego wants you to believe that's who you are so that you fight for its own survival because you feel like that's I've talked about going through an ego death. It feels like you're dying. It feels like you are dying. I hate it. It's like one of the worst things I've been through, but it's completely necessary so that your divine self, who you really are spiritually, like your soul, can be. Okay. Anyway, so the ego needs a bit of tweaking Sunday to Tuesday. Follow your heart because your ego is gonna feel threatened by that. Your ego is gonna feel threatened by what the heart wants, where the heart is trying to tell you to go, and you're better than that. From Tuesday to Thursday, Moon's going to be in Taurus. So now you're, I would say, drop down into the physical reality a little bit, where it's not so mental, not so ego driven. You're going to be feeling your values in your physical body. You're going to be feeling what your heart wants in your physical body, physical sensations. So you're going to be reflecting on your sense of self-worth, self-value, and you're probably going to be taking stock of your resources, your inner resources, your physical resources that you have at this available moment, like right now. So don't tweak out, don't be afraid if you feel like you should have more or that you should be more prepared. You're just getting more focused on that. Okay? Be kind to yourself. Whenever an insecure feeling, fear, shame, guilt, anger, ego, all of that comes up because it wasn't adequately expressed or dealt with as a child. So you have to treat all of those feelings as if they're little children. It's your inner child, and reparent yourself. So the part of you that's like wants to be confident, wants to heal, wants to evolve, has to talk to the parts of yourself that don't feel like you can do it, that want to just cut and run, that want to self-sabotage, that want to feel sorry for yourself. I mean, that's how you reparent. But you have to, that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. Like, you have to be able to feel the difference. When I do this, oh my God, it's always like some epic session because I know what it feels like when the fear or the insecurity comes up. And it could be anything. If you're trying to learn a new skill and then something comes over you and you want to cry and you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. You have to recognize what's happening and then shift into the adult you right now that's going to be like, no, you're on your way. You can do it. You're going to learn. It's going to take some time, but you're going to do it. It's going to be okay. Be patient with yourself. It's going to be okay. And then that part of you, that unhealed part of you, is going to have this reaction to getting the love that you didn't get, to getting the encouragement that you didn't get, to getting the parent that you didn't get when you needed it, when you're maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, whenever. And that's going to feel good because you're there for yourself. And that creates trust in yourself. And that creates trust in your life, trust in the universe, trust that everything's going to be okay. And you do that whenever a feeling like that comes up. So cry and cry. Let your little body push those molecules out of your eyeballs and just let it happen. Moon in Gemini is Thursday to Sunday. So basically the moon's going to be in Aries, Taurus, Gemini, the very first 3 signs. So when the moon enters Gemini Thursday, we're like in full moon energy, right? So now you're at your peak experience. What are your thoughts and your feelings? There might be 2 paths. There might be, if you've already chosen a path, like if you cut your boundaries in November and depending on, like, remember where you are, what your perspective is. 2 paths, 2 roles to play, 2 different people that you could be or more in this lifetime. If you've already chosen a path, if there's one single path before you that you know in your heart of hearts is for you, there might be many little details to take care of. There might be a lot of little things and considerations that you'll be taking into account. This can also be a project. This can also be a project for some of you. And then the moon in Cancer, Sunday to Tuesday next week. That's when you'll either be feeling emotionally committed to what you've decided at the full moon, or you will be ready to begin on something that you've already decided. You'll emotionally own your choice. And it's like, you won't waste any time. Like, you won't be in that what do I believe? Who am I going to be? What do I want? Like you'll be like, no, 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 no. I know I got it. I figured it out. This is what I want. Now let me just get started. Let me not waste any time and let's just get to it. That's how I feel like, because Cancer wants to just start the thing. Okay. You'll have a project to start, a song to write, a something that will be what your heart is driving you towards. Honestly, this week is going to be easy if you can just follow your heart. Be honest with yourself, be real with yourself, parent yourself about what that is, give yourself the confidence to prioritize what your heart wants. And if your heart wants something that your ego is fighting you on, you have to make a sacrifice. Oh, the tarot reading was so good for today. In the Artigan Daily Bulletin, it blew my mind. I was like, whoa. But yeah, you'll have to make a sacrifice. You'll have to sacrifice that ego. You'll have to sacrifice those ego needs or those ego drives to get what your heart wants. You have to have trust or there's nothing. You choose love or you choose ego. You can't have both. You just can't. You just can't. I think this is all like out of order. 10, 11. Yeah, now I'm starting with Friday. So Friday, like I was saying, over the weekend, coming into this week, Friday the 10th through Sunday the 12th, Venus conjunct Pluto was the end of an old control system. There it is. You saw and realized what you need to see and understand to truly be free. That's going to happen again. That's going to happen again. That's going to happen again on Christmas Eve. So if this past Friday you were seeing something very clear, very obvious, Pluto is that underworld energy. So Pluto and Venus doing this dance, whole Hades Persephone freaking like Stockholm syndrome thing. It's like on Christmas Eve, it's going to be that energy again where you're going to just be really grounded in what really matters, what you really care about, what's real though. Like not a control system, not an ego gratification thing, not what society says or what your old beliefs about life and love and this and that say. Because all that's a control mechanism if it's not real. If it's not real, if it's not authentic, if it's not love, truth, integrity, if it's not your heart, it's a control system. And they're playing you. They're playing on your ego needs. They're playing on you investing in this control system to get your ego needs met. That's manipulation. All right. Like you really want to be out of the matrix. You really want to be a free individual. It starts up here and it starts in here. Because without that, anyone can use your own traumas, your own self-sabotaging instincts against you. And if they have the higher awareness, that you don't have, and they can see the bigger picture and they see you like this big, like walking along, like they're like, oh, I can, we're here to liberate you. Remember, this is a revolution of consciousness here. I need to just stick to my script because I wrote 6 pages and I still like digress. And we had the Sun square Neptune. So we turned a corner on Sunday. Letting go of some of those ego needs. It's just the ego. It's not worth it. You're selling yourself out. That's that old rock star by the campfire saying, yeah, I sold out and it totally worked against me. And now I'm old and freaking alone and miserable. And, you learn from me, you little one. You go and not make the same mistakes I did, whatever it is. So turn the corner on Sunday. Being shown certain beliefs that we put our trust into, whatever made us feel secure. We respected that belief, that truth. We're realizing that was kind of silly. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's part of growing. It's okay to have believed in something seriously, like you took it very seriously, that now you look at it as silly. That's okay. That's growing. If you don't want to accept that, depending on what this is, you'll know deep down that you're forcing yourself to keep living a truth that's just plain silly. You will know deep down that you don't believe in it anymore and that it's not real. You'll know. You're coming into a new awareness of what is truly the most meaningful thing in your life. Because when it hits the fan next year, okay, here's the thing about next year. Next year is going to be freaking awesome. It's going to be awesome. So you want to pick the greatest potentiality for yourself, the greatest timeline, the greatest life, the greatest role that you could possibly dream big, you guys. Go big or go home. You did not incarnate here to play it small. Dream big, because next year is all about that. Carpe that diem. Okay, do it. Do it to it. Okay, let's move forward. Oh my God, I'm only on Monday the 13th. So today, Mars enters Sagittarius and Mercury enters Capricorn. So there's a new idea, there's a new plan, there's a new belief, there's a new theory, there's a new way of communicating, there's a new strategy, there's a new tactic system that begins on Monday. A seed is planted that will grow. It adds to your ongoing development. It's a new way to communicate paired with a new way to go after what you want. That has to be based on a new or evolved or evolving belief system. That's the Mars in Sagittarius. We're no longer like playing these, some people were in Scorpio season, in November season. Scorpio will pull back their energy to reassert power. That Mars in Scorpio, I'm going to be manipulative to get my way. I'm going to use my ego to get my way. I'm going to manipulate other people in the situation to get my way. No, that died Sunday. Ain't the way. Mars in Sag is more, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. The stakes aren't like Scorpio always feels like the stakes are like, you know, Mars and Sag. So there's a new way that we're approaching getting things. And with Mercury and Capricorn, it's so much better than Mercury and Sag. I'm sorry. It's so much better than Mercury and Sag. Mercury and Sag saw so many Freudian slips, so many foot in the mouth. Oh my God. Thank God Mercury's in Capricorn. Thank God. Mercury and Capricorn is going to be so much smarter, so much more well-mannered, so much more respectful, so much more strategic, and just like respect for elders, respect for decorum. Mercury and Sag, there is no decorum. Oh my God, you guys, I will never forget when I was, doesn't mean anything, but I was the youngest person on the board that was negotiating that multi-billion-dollar contract for SAG-AFTRA and the national committee. And I wrote a manifesto. And in the subcommittee, they were like, yeah, Natalie, yeah, the manifesto. I wanted this manifesto in the contract. And so when we took it to the bigger board, everybody was like, I was like, damn, thought y'all were rah manifesto. It was amazing, by the way. It was amazing. And it was ahead of its time though. But now it's all about it. Now everybody's like on my wavelength. But at the time it was just too early. It scared people. People did not like the word manifesto, and I'm like all about that word. So anyway, why am I so chatty today? Probably because I miss you guys and I haven't seen you in like forever. Sorry. Okay. Where was I? Oh, Tuesday the 14th. Not much going on Tuesday. Okay, I'm good on time. Okay. I have appointments today. Tuesday the 14th, not much. Moon is in Taurus, which is cool. Wednesday the 15th, Mars crosses the South Node. This is a big day. Circle Wednesday. You're cutting out some karma. You're literally cutting out karma. You're done believing in the silly thing. It looks silly now. Don't be hard on yourself for believing in that. You know, maybe like in a week or two, maybe like, oh my God, blue hair is so silly. You know, whatever. Like, it's okay that I had blue hair for a while, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it was, like, don't judge yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. It's not a mistake if you learn from it. It therefore becomes a lesson. Every lesson is like a feather in your cap. When you have lots of feathers, you become a chief. Okay? Parent yourself that way. Allow yourself to grow. Allow yourself to outgrow things. It's your quality of life. It's your quality of life we're talking about here, okay? You're done holding on to these old beliefs about yourself and your life because you can't unknow what you now know. That's the whole point. You're outgrowing it because you've seen behind the veil. You're like, this is a sham, or this is ridiculous, or this was silly, or this was hurting me, or this was being fed to me, or this doesn't even fit me anymore. Like it's a shirt or something, you know? I wrote here, the genie's out of the bottle. You can't go back in that bottle. That's funny. Okay. Thursday, where are we now? So I feel like, okay, one thing about Wednesday with the Mars crossing the South Node, I can't decide if this is action that you're going to take, that you're letting go of, or not acting when you would have acted, or if you're acting on a new belief, or if you're acting, because some people, not everyone takes these opportunities to grow. Not everyone is even self-aware enough to understand what's happening in their own bodies, or what's happening in their own life, or what's happening in their own mind. And even if they are, it's like frustrating because I remember I used to have these racing thoughts and I just could not control my mind. It's torturous. It feels horrible. It's when I got to meditation, they described it as like the monkey mind, that the monkey swinging from branch to branch is like your focus going from thought to thought, and the monkey just does not know what branch they're gonna grab onto next. It takes years, it takes a long time. So be gentle with yourself. Thursday the 16th, you got to change your thinking if you're going to make this happen. So this whole week is about your heart, your attitudes, your feelings, your thoughts, your spirituality. It's going to determine how much of your reality you can perceive, and how, are you able to step into the role that you were born to play here. The old geese are telling you their life story, and you have your whole life before you. There's two different advantages. When you have your whole life before you, there's a lot of potentiality. You can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. When you're older and most of your life is behind you, you have your lived potential, what you actually did. This is what I did. This is what I accomplished. This is what I learned from what I did. It's different. So depending on where you are, how much you have before you, how much you have behind you, every moment is a new moment. Every breath is a new chance to make something of your life. Thursday the 16th, listen to your heart. Get your mind on the same page as what your heart is telling you, because that mind is going to mess you up. That ego is going to mess you up. Doubting your heart will make everything a lot harder for yourself. And this is like, I saw this Marilyn Monroe movie, you guys, and I cried the entire time because I'm like, oh my God, like I can't believe, like that's me, like growing up in my life, like just so oversensitive. But like other people just doing horrible things and making someone, like doing horrible things to other people and then feeling sorry for themselves. Doing horrible things to other people and feeling sorry for themselves that they did horrible things to other people. Okay, gross. That's some gross energy. Being horrible to other people, but then feeling sorry for yourself for that. I can't help but hurt other people, and I feel so sorry for myself, and I'm not going to try to get help, and I'm not going to try to stop hurting people. Like, okay. Where did I get that from? Go with what your heart is telling you. Doubting your heart will make everything a lot good. Okay. So if you like don't listen to your heart, that's martyrdom, okay? And you just go and you're like, you're gonna live the lie knowing that it's a lie and just feel sorry for yourself for living the lie. Friday the 17th, realize your destiny. Manifest your destiny, okay? Get your idealized vision of your life and make it real. And believe in it. Believe in your own life, whether it's like, I could never have a garden, I could never make anything grow, whatever. Everyone's gonna have this on a different level in different parts here. I'm gonna talk about that and after this. Actually, I have an appointment after this, but after that, okay? Um, the Gemini energy, that's also gossips, that's also naysayers, it's also petty, okay? Let them go. Let it go. Petty is powerless. They gossip because they can't stop you, okay? They gossip because they can't stop you. They say they put you down, they're naysayers because they can't do anything. They're powerless. You have the power, and they're just trying to do the littlest thing, little pebble in your shoe to get you to doubt yourself, use your insecurity against you so that you don't go for something that they will never in a million years have the courage, self-love, whatever to do. You drop all that like dead weight. You don't need any of that. There's billions of people on this planet. Billions. It's a lot of people. We have the internet. They didn't have that in 1776. The world would have been a different place. Society progresses faster in smaller groups. It's why we here in the Artegan community on Patreon, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, like we are progressing at a whole different rate in our own little frequency band than everybody else. We're our own thing, just like other groups, other creators. You guys are creators that have your own groups. It's your own thing. It's your own vibe. Okay. This is the first year of Saturn in Aquarius where tribes are breaking up, companies are breaking up, families breaking up, people, lovers breaking, everybody breaking up because they don't share the same humanity. They don't share the same vibe anymore. And new groups are coming together. New friend groups are coming together. Oh my God, I'm not seeing Sex and the City. The whole thing, no. Samantha Jones was the main character. I think Samantha Jones had a whole other friend group. All those girls, those petty girls, honestly, seeing grown women, mean girl people, mean girl, other grown women. Oh, I have like that secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, that's embarrassing. What's the TikTok sound? That's embarrassing. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. It's embarrassing. A grown woman mean girling, putting another woman down. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Everybody knows it too, but nobody wants to it's embarrassing. Samantha Jones has another friend group. What a week. Oh, that's what I was saying. Petty is powerless. They gossip because they can't do anything to you. They cannot touch you. You protect your energies. And the people I work with one-on-one every week, you got it going on. You know exactly specific. You're on your A game. Okay. Believe in your special destiny, Friday. It's yours. It's not for anybody else. Those other people, the petty people, the gossipy people, the women that put other people down, the men that put other men down, judging each other's manhoods. It's embarrassing. They have their own destiny, but they're so focused on you and yours that they are nowhere near their own destiny if you're focusing on anybody else for any other reason. Because why would you? This is this Mercury and Capricorn energy. Hopefully everyone just refocuses on their own thing. Be like a Capricorn. Think like a Capricorn. Capricorn, what do I focus on my own thing. I stay in my lane. I focus on my own vibe. Have my own thing going on. Capricorns we don't care about being petty. We don't care about anything else except work and our own thing. Who cares? Who cares? Think like a Capricorn. Focus on your own thing. Forgive and let it go. Friday, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let them go gossip, do whatever they want, mean girl other people. You protect your energy. You put up your boundary. See, you know what I'm saying? Saturday the 18th, full moon in Gemini and Mercury. Oh, I gotta wrap this. Dang it, I gotta wrap this up. Saturday the 18th, Gemini, full moon, and Mercury in Capricorn squares Chiron and Aries, and then Chiron's gonna go direct. You're stepping into this new belief system, okay? This is like a peak experience on Saturday. And you're living your life. you got to step into it. You got to live these beliefs. Live what you've been thinking on and intellectualizing this entire week. I define what it means to be a woman. I decide. I had this whole thing before. Hold on. Oh man. Okay, I didn't finish up Monday. Let me tell you about Monday. So Monday the 13th, Mars enters Sagittarius and Mercury enters Capricorn. The seed is planted that day. That will grow. It adds to your ongoing development. I didn't do any timestamps. I'm so sorry. It's a new way to communicate paired with a new way to go after what you want. That's right. Then I got off on that riff. Based on the new or evolving belief system. All women do this. All confident men act like this. A glass of wine at the end of the day of every day relaxes me. Old belief system. Fuck that. Okay, by the full moon in Gemini, Saturday, I define what it means to be a woman. I decide what my confidence in my manhood behaves and acts like according to my own ideas. A glass of wine at the end of every day isn't really relaxing me. It's just a habit that I'm ready to replace with something that rejuvenates me and gives me energy. New beliefs over. So like beliefs, it's not even just like God, universe. It's little beliefs about your day, about what feels good, what doesn't feel good, what you want to be around, what you don't want to be around, how you think, what you think about. It's all those little beliefs too. You're devoted to your purpose. Saturday, this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, your heart opens up to it. If you let it. Oh, and I have this song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. It's like Starship. It's such a sweet song. So let it happen. Like just honestly, just let it happen. Like whatever your heart is calling you towards, let it happen because you will align with other people that are in that vibrational frequency. Okay. Trust it. And trust that letting go is what those other people need to do their own growing. Because maybe they need to grow without you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they need to have their own path where they're not hyper focusing on what you're doing. Maybe it's not healthy for them. So let them go do that. If you're meant to reunite, if you're meant to be together again, if you're meant to talk ever again, it'll just happen because y'all are vibing in the same vibe. And if not, they're going to be okay. The ego dies with the body. Everyone's going to go up. Everyone's going to have the party. Everyone's going to remember that we're all just consciousness and that love is the only real truth, that everything else is a lie. The devil always lies. Ego, lies, fallacies, martyrdom, all of the shame, fear, guilt, all of that is just a lie. So you either want to live in love and in the truth, or you're not ready yet and you want to resubscribe to some more pain. Don't judge anyone for doing that either. We all need to feel pain in order to grow. Unless you want to stay sorry for yourself, like that movie, and you're like, oh, I can't stop hurting people. I feel so sorry for myself. Because it hurts to be victimized, but it hurts even more to be a villain. It hurts even more to hurt people, karmically, energetically. So there's a way to get out of that. This is way beyond this weekly, but email me, do a session, whatever. But it goes way beyond that. But just focus on your own self. Do your own thing. And you will be okay. Follow your own heart. Because, number one, it led you to me. And it led me to you. And if we're connecting, then you're going to be able to connect with other people that are in our vibe. So just trust that this week. And just let go of the options, because Gemini, mutable energy, likes to have options. Let yourself let go of what you already know is like an option, but it's not a real option because it's not real. It's a silly option. It's silly. Okay. I love you guys forever and ever and ever and always. I hope let me know what you guys think about my new background. My lipstick. I'm just kidding. Take really good care. I have an appointment, but then I will be back on Patreon to do this same weekly breakdown, but for all 12 zodiac signs. And if someone wants to timestamp these the days, that'd be so awesome. Let me know. I'll pin your comment to the very top. I love you guys. Until I'll be back for some tarot later on. I don't have time to do tarot right now, but I'll be back with the tarot. So until then, my loves, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.